Let me just recap us.
Adair. What about Dad?
Okay. All right.
What a...
Jen.
What about Dad?
Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome all the way back. This week I am flying solo. Jen is on vacation, and she's living her best life. So make sure you guys head over to Twitter and, give her your thoughts and well wishes. We are talking about Wynonna Earp, episode 309. Undo it! Undo it indeed. Guys, this episode was kind of a bit of a hit and miss for me. I really liked a lot of the cinematography, the visuals of it. We had some really beautiful shots and some great coloring going on, which I am always in love with. But the overall story, I was kind of, I was kind of missing, guys. All right, so let's start with Wynonna. Wynonna and Doc. I'm going to do them in more of a pairing because that's kind of how we broke this episode up into. All right, so we're here in Bulshar's land. He's taken them over, and we start off with this happy Doc situation. They slept together, they're making up, things are okay, and then we realize this haze has this filter is over over the lens, and it looks too dewy and too fresh. Well, we have, Wynonna finally waking up from this dream, realizing this isn't right. We're supposed to be fighting Bulshar, so what's the deal? Well, so the thing is, I've noticed, I love the fact that she can break through that. I like the fact that she's strong enough and it shows her power. Bulshar now realizes that she's stronger than he gave her credit for. She's shown her hand by being so quick to the draw of saying, hey, this isn't real. She really has given up a little bit more information than she probably even thought she was. This kind of goes into the idea of Wynonna being more actionary than kind of methodical and thinking. We get to this kind of Groundhog's Day situation. I use that loosely. And every time she wakes up, she's doing the same thing over and over again. The entire episode, literally, is her doing the same thing over and over and over again without thinking, oh, maybe I should approach things differently. Now we have Doc. He is, at this time, somewhere. We don't know where until a little bit later. But, he's quiet, he's calm, he's freaking out, he's kind of imploding, if you will. Not in an angry way, but just like he's sinking into himself because, as we find out later, he's being buried alive. He's paralyzed, he can't really move. But I think it's really interesting that he kept saying, Wynonna, think of something else. Try a new way of something, You can't just muscle your way through it. Now, this is the first episode, I have to give credit, that has shown Wynonna to not be able to just punch Peacemaker or power her way through something. She really has to think about it, and I like the fact that we finally get her, more of a mental state. Once we are bringing Wynonna and Doc back, she figures it out. She realizes he's under the house, and we see that, and I think it was crazy to watch, and he's under this house, and she's freaking out and going through these steps in this new game that Bulshar's created. I thought that was really great. Visually, once again, I think it's super beautiful that we have, Melanie against the wall as the projector is showing Tim's eyes, showing that, distress and that just like compassion. And I think it's such a show of talent from Tim because half the episode is just his eyeballs and mustache. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has to convey so much in, a slide ultimately. And I think that's really, 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 really great. We have Wynonna running into Bobo Del Rey. I love a good Bobo. I really do. I love that character. I think he's the strongest character, one of the strongest characters in the show. With that said, I wasn't a super fan of this meetup. I felt like it was kind of unearned. I didn't feel necessarily like it made sense for us to be going after each other's throats so quickly. Maybe if we had seen him again. I know we saw him in the well, okay? But like, I don't know, something was missing, because that whole speech about him giving up and you should give up, Wynonna, felt like it should have happened in the well, because he's in the well. You would understand his spirit being broken. But like this weird magical world, I didn't really get that. I don't understand why these extremely strong characters all of a sudden mentally gave up. It didn't really feel like anybody's character. Now, Doc, I get Doc if he were to give up. But the entire episode, Doc was the strong one who was like, you got to keep fighting, you got to keep going, help, let's get out of here. Wynonna, who the entire show, she's been very resilient, all of a sudden cracked. Bobo, the same thing. He's been very resilient, whether, he gets turned good or bad, he's been resilient. But then all of a sudden, he's broken. I don't know, I didn't buy that. It just felt too out of character for me. But I loved, once again, the visuals of it. Seeing Michael and Melanie in that blue light laying down after they've hatcheted each other. I thought that was a very beautiful kind of imagery and things like that. Now, moving on to a little lighter part. Actually, it's funny because I feel like it was the heavier but like lighter part. Because to me, in the last few episodes, all I want to know is what Bulshar is up to, like with this Garden of Eden thing, the tarot cards, and the ring. I want to know what is about, what's going on with that. And so when we got more ring stuff, that was great for me. We have Mercedes back, freaking Danny Kind. I'm so excited she's back. I really like her. I love Mercedes. Having that pedestrian person who we can now, once again, look through the eyes of. She knows that there's demon stuff. She's been affected, but she's still human. And I think that's going to be really lovely to see. And Jen and I have been talking about that for a while. We just want to see more pedestrian. I think that, her showing up and being very nonchalant, like somebody was squatting, what's up with the sex toys and all the stuff that she says. And she's like, squatter's gonna squat. I thought that was such a great line. And, it reminds us how much we love Mercedes. Waverly in this ring. We see in the beginning, of the episode, Way Hot, this whole fake out of like these sex noises and things, and that's really funny. And, they're just being cheeky, and I appreciate that. Trying to get the ring off. I have a few questions about this ring. Why is everybody so scared of the ring? The only time, I would say would be disconcerting is when the ring burned Nicole. But we clearly found out it was so that the ring could go to Waverly. Every other time the ring has been in possession of, somebody else's possession, it's protected or it's shown up. It burned Doc because he was a vampire. It punched Clootie because she was a zombie thing. It's never really shown to hurt anybody. So I'm not really understanding why Nicole is so freaked out by it and then causing Waverly to be freaked out by it. I don't know. We see her, melt this demon's face off, which I think was awesome. So I don't know. It feels more like it's protecting people, so I don't get, once again, why everybody's freaked out. This episode feels like it was a lot of non-character events, like stuff that characters really haven't done or I don't know, it doesn't feel on brand for a lot of these characters, a lot of the stuff that they were freaking out about. That, that's just me. I like the fact that after a while Nicole kind of came around to the idea of this is a powerful ring, we should try to figure it out, which I liked. I love this kind caress that Waverly gives Mercedes, saying you're beautiful, and I thought that was really quite sweet in that moment. But yeah, the ring, I'm here for the lore. I love the Demon of the Week, or sort of Demon of the Week. I've seen that actor before, and when I saw him, I was like, hey, it's that guy. I wish I looked up his name, but I was really happy to see him there. He was exactly what I thought this demon was going to be. It was great. Also, something that it's not a big deal, but we've used the same jokes. We're kind of getting in the habit this season of using the same jokes over and over again. And I don't know if that's just writers forgetting kind of what they wrote. Waverly, when she's leaving the ring situation, Nicole goes, demon or creepy guy with the ring fetish, jewelry fetish? And Waverly goes, why pick just both? Or why pick just one? Well, Bunny Loblo had said that recently in the episode. When Wynonna goes, are you a xenophobe or a homophobe? She goes, why just pick one? Or why pick just one? And so I was like, oh, we've already done that joke. Same with the idea of like Waverly and the gnome. She goes, you shall not pass. And then Jeremy, directly after that goes, Waverly goes, Gandalf, not today, Gandalf. And then Jeremy goes, you shall not pass. So I feel like we keep repeating the same jokes as though we didn't get it the first time. And I don't know what that's about in the writer's room. If you guys just noticed that's been kind of happening. Which, it's not a big thing, but it is something that I'm like, do you guys forget what you're writing? But whatever. Let me think. There were so many small moments in here that stick out in my mind. The idea that Nicole, Jeremy, and Waverly can see the stairs. What's that about? These magical stairs. It's probably the opening of the gates of the portals. Do we know if Balshar can see these stairs? We assume because it's in the Force, but he might not be able to see them. He might need Waverly in order to see them. Also, why is Jeremy afraid of the stairs? Robin tried to move up on them, and he said, get off those stairs. Nicole, get off the stairs. They're not for you. We haven't seen Waverly try to get up the stairs, so there's that. But I'm trying to figure out if they can see the stairs, but they're not allowed on the stairs. What's the deal with the stairs? Is it kind of like, it reminds me of Hercules, the movie, where he goes to the Hades underworld and there's all the souls swimming in the pool. And the guy goes, hey, if you dip in there, you're going to die. But because he's God, he lives, So maybe it's not for the living to go on those stairs, except Waverly being an angel or half angel would probably be able to be on the stairs. So there's that. Something else that kind of came to my attention, Wynonna gave over Peacemaker. Once again, I don't really get why it feels a little out of character, but it kind of now makes Waverly a human Peacemaker. Now that we don't have this physical relic that Bolshar himself put, cursed. We have Waverly. Bolshar can't touch Waverly, ultimately. I mean, it feels that way. And now that she has this ring on and she's burning faces from demons and punching things, she seems like the new Peacemaker. Which I'm a little scared about making, and we've seen this coming, Waverly being the focus. Much like on Supergirl, we are giving the powers to everybody else, and then our lead character in that kind of got fleshed out, or kind of got drowned out. That's what I meant to say. So I'm wondering, now we're making Waverly this big, powerful deity, ultimately. I hope that doesn't, drown out Wynonna and her power, because now, even Wynonna said it, she's nothing, She's like, what do we have? We have a vampire guy, we have a almost alcoholic MILF, we have, this tech guy, and we have a underfunded sheriff, and then all we have is Waverly. She's pretty great, So it's like, I wonder where that's going to go and what that's going to mean for everybody and their journey. I had mentioned this before to Jen and to you guys last week. Defeating Bolshar means there's no curse. No curse, no revenants. No revenants, no show, no Wynonna. What's the point? So, what is the end game here? What are we seeing? What are we going to have to deal with ultimately? We can't get rid of Bolshar all the way. That wouldn't make sense. Or maybe you can get rid of Bolshar, but the curse remains somehow. Waverly is an angel and she's showing powers and this ring's not coming off. What does that mean? What is going to happen? So those are just some of my thoughts on this episode. If I had to kind of rate it, I honestly, I would give it a 6. yeah, I love Danny Kind coming back. Thank God for that levity. I love the visuals of the episode. I thought the projector idea was so smart and it looks so good. But like, I felt like a lot of things were out of character for everybody. It didn't feel, the pacing just kind of was like, Anytime I got to Wynonna and Doc, it just felt like the pacing slowed down like significantly. And I know it was because they weren't moving, they were in the same spot, but like, it didn't feel urgent. It didn't feel as urgent as getting out of the AU and finding Wynonna. It didn't feel as urgent as, anything that Dolls was doing. It was lacking a little bit for me. Anyways, guys, once again, Jen will be back with us next week. And, I'll have her kind of give some of her thoughts in the beginning of the next cast of what she thought about this. Yeah, I don't know. Make sure you guys hit us up on Twitter, whatabout_dat, and let us know your thoughts. How'd you feel about this episode? I know we have a tendency to really love Wynonna because it's a good show, but I don't know. I felt like this particular episode was a little bit on the lacking side. So give me your thoughts and your feelings down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later. Thanks for listening. And if you want to take us on the go, we are now available on Podbeam, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. And if you want to slide on over to Twitter, make sure you find us at whatabout_dat. Hope to see you soon.